my name is Eva and welcome to this channel. Today we are talking all about why queer women have more orgasms according to research. If you can tell by the little flags back there, I am indeed a bisexual gal, and this video is going to be talking about cis queer women's sexual experiences. So cis lesbians, bi, pan, queer folks. Unfortunately, this doesn't include trans or non-binary people because there isn't a lot of sex research on those communities, which sucks and should change. But that's just what we're going to be talking about today. So let's jump right on into it. The finger guns are out ablazing because it's a queer video. It's my bisexual mandate. Let's first jump into the stats. So there's actually been a bunch of research to show that queer women have more orgasms, which is why I'm making this video. There's a study that asked women how often they orgasmed in the past month with a partner, and 86% of lesbians said that they orgasmed either usually or every time.
Let's go, lesbians, let's go!
Compared to 66% of bisexual women and 65% of straight women. So this looks like it bodes well for lesbians but not bisexual women, but we actually get a different story when we look at what kinds of relationships people are in. So when we compare similar gender relationships versus mixed gender relationships, we do see that queer women are having more orgasms. So one study found that the orgasm incident rate was about 1.5 times higher for queer women than straight women. Also, women in same gender are more likely to report multiple orgasms. So there we go. There's some mix of data that show that queer women are having more orgasms than straight women. So why is this happening? I went through a bunch of sex research and literature on the topic and came up with 4 potential reasons. The first reason is that for women in similar gender relationships, their sex sessions are usually longer. So researchers found that on average for women in similar gender relationships, it was between 30 to 45 minutes up to an hour average sex session, compared to 15 to 30 or around 18 on average for mixed gender couples. The second reason is related to what's happening in these longer sex sessions, and that is activities that are related to cis women's likelihood of having an orgasm. And for the most part, that's oral sex. Researchers found that women in similar gender relationships were either having the same amount of oral sex, if not more, than their mixed gender relationship peers. And a really awesome study found that women who had received oral sex in their last sexual encounter were more likely to have an orgasm regardless of what other sexual activity they were doing. So, longer sex sessions and more oral sex, more orgasms. Number 3, in addition to oral sex, queer women are also doing a greater variety of sexual activities, all which lead to an increased likelihood of having an orgasm. So that includes deep kissing, touching, manual stimulation, and using sex toys. The 4th potential reason why queer women have more orgasms is, I kid you not here, I'm just sharing what the research says, is that women are more sexually satisfied by the activities when they happen. So women in similar gender relationships reported higher sexual satisfaction from receiving oral sex than people in mixed gender relationships. And another study found that lesbians in particular had a higher chance of having an orgasm from a whole bunch of different sexual activities like oral, manual stimulation, deep kissing, genital stimulation than their straight counterparts, even when they were doing the same activities. So I don't want to say that queer women are better at sex, but that's just the activities are more sexually satisfying. So we've talked about why queer women might have more orgasms. We should also talk about why. It's probably related to our culture and our society's focused on penis and vagina sex as the only kind of real sex, or something that should be the focus of sexual encounters when a penis is involved. This means that sexual encounters might be shorter because it takes people with penises less time to reach an orgasm, and oftentimes the script is that sex is over once the person with the penis has an orgasm. Also, there's a lot of pressure on people with penises to please their partner with said penis, which means that they might disregard other sexual activities that might bring a partner with a vulva lots of pleasure, like oral sex or manual stimulation or using sex toys. This might also have to do with the idea that for people in mixed gender couples where there is a very clear sexual script in terms of media and movies and porn, that people might kind of think that's just how you have sex and not talk about the things that they really want to do or negotiate specific encounters, versus people in similar gender relationships might have to talk more about what they like and what they want to do because less is assumed about what is going to happen in that sexual encounter. So for everybody, whether or not you are a queer woman or not, whether or not you're in a similar gender relationship or a mixed gender relationship, I think we can learn a lot from this research. That if you want to have more orgasms, taking a little bit more time during your sexual encounter, doing more varied sexual activities, especially if your partner or yourself has a vulva, doing things like oral sex or manual stimulation, all of that is really awesome and related to orgasm. And also communicating with your partner about what you want and not just assuming or following along a certain script of how you think sex maybe should go. That is all for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any other thoughts about the orgasm gap between different relationship configurations, please do leave it in the comments, as well as any video requests you have related to queer sexuality that you'd love to see me make in the future. Follow me on social media, like and subscribe if you aren't already. But that's all for me today. Have a lovely day.